Hello guys, how's it going? Mr. Dave back again with another pickups video, and if you've just come across from my last video where I have the same t-shirt on, I'm still drinking the same pint of beer, although it's a little bit lower. And now it's gone. So yes, this is going to be a Super Nintendo pickups video, and to be honest with you, I won't lie, it's got some awesome stuff in it. I've got 10 games and an accessory to show you, and I've had this stuff coming since Christmas holiday. So yeah, so some of it I've had to sat back a little while. So I've got to a nice round number. I've got 10 games. The most recent came what day was today? Saturday, Thursday. So the last two came Thursday, came together, and I'm there at the end. So I'm going to show them in like. I've got one cart only, 9 box complete games, and as we go through they get better and better and better. So, well, in some way, I'll explain all. So yeah, so this is going to be quite an epic Super Nintendo pickup video, to be honest. I'm really chuffed with the games I've got, and I will admit that I have officially been bitten by the box complete bug, and this applies to certain titles only. I'm not buying everything box complete. Unless it's something that's of great interest to me, and mainly if it is a game I used to own. So as I mentioned in my video I did when at the beginning of the year, through my goals for 2014, I wanted to get back all the games in my original collection in as best condition as possible. So there's a few titles in here that enter that category, and there's a couple of others on the American side of things that I haven't had before, but I wanted to get. So I'll start off with the accessory. Now, as you know, I've had several NES Advantage joysticks in the recent months, and I came across the Super Nintendo variant. So I got myself a SNES Advantage, and it's boxed with no inner, it's just a loose box. The box is pretty mangled up. It's alright, I mean it looks okay on camera, but to be fair, it's a little bit rough in person, if that makes sense. So I'll show you the actual joystick, because I've got it out of the box, and I've got the cable bundled up with that. So there she is. It works perfect. So it's not a micro switch, nothing like that, but it's got all your turbo buttons, and you can adjust various speeds of buttons, this, that, the other. So this is cool, especially for stuff like Street Fighter. I've played Street Fighter on it, it plays really well. So yeah, happy to have the arcade stick for the SNES. So that is the Super NES Advantage. Good bit of kit. I would recommend picking it up if you can get yourself one, because yeah, they're good. Well worth picking up. So that's the first thing. I'll turn it down just a wee bit. We've got Final Fight 3 in the background, by the way, if you want to know. Now I'll start with my only cartridge only game for the SNES. And this game took a while to come, actually. I think I mentioned in my last video that I've been waiting for a game to come. It's been taking for so long, I don't know why. But yeah, it took longer than expected. It was in the UK as well. The guy gave me some story that he had issues, but there you go. But no, it came. I'm happy with it. It's an RPG that I wanted to add to my SNES RPG collection, because as we know, there's some fantastic RPGs in Super Nintendo, and this is one that I've heard mixed thoughts on, and I wanted to give it a try myself. It's a Square Enix or Enix game, and it is Soul Blazer. Now, the PAL version of this, if you were to buy the PAL version, box complete, it would set you back about 500 quid. This was a fraction of that. I think this was 20, 25, and that's a good price because he had it advertised. I've made an offer, and I took it. So yeah, and normally to import this, you'd probably pay 25-30 plus postage plus import charges. So I was really happy to pick it up in the UK. Yeah, for less than what you'd get it for by importing it. So it's Soul Blazer. I've only just tried it out and turned it on to make sure it works. Because as you know, with RPGs you need to dedicate a bit of time to them, and at the minute I'm currently playing Earthbound. I've been playing it for a good couple of months now, pardon me. So yeah, I'm going to hang fire on this one and play some more Earthbound before I start anything else. God, I shouldn't have finished that, shouldn't down that drink. But there you go, Soul Blazer, that's the first one, cart only. So it's in great shape, it's not discoloured, it's got no real damage to it. So it's all good. For a cart only, it's fantastic shape. So Soul Blazer, that's game number 1. But the second game, if you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, and you've got an Apple product, I'm under the same name as YouTube, that's Retro Dave Nintendo, if you haven't guessed already. And I do take some pictures of some of the things I buy, so you might get a sneak peek at what might be coming up in a future pickup video. If you follow me on there, you'll get to see some pictures of some games that I bought. But yeah, this is one I posted up, and it came in a jiffy bag with no protection, just slung in the jiffy bag. But I've put it in a box protector to straighten it out. It hasn't got a manual, but I weren't too worried because I bought this game for me and my missus to play, and it's Tetris and Dr. Mario, so there's a little bit of glare on there. But this was just thrown in the jiffy bag, it was all opened up, it was in pretty poor shape, but the box protector has definitely straightened it out, and I will keep it in there to, you know, try and form it back in its perfect shape that it once was. Apart from it has been squashed a bit. There's no major creases, but it just, you know, where it just kind of gets like squashed in the jiffy bag. It kind of rounded a little bit, but it's a nice snug fit in here, and it's keeping it nice and straight, so I'm going to keep it in there for good. Obviously the game isn't in there, it's actually in the SNES upstairs in the bedroom, because we've been playing this upstairs. So yeah, Tetris, Dr. Mario, classic games on one cartridge, and so the missus played 2-player with this one, so yeah, well happy with that. Right, next game, again, I'll keep this in the box protector because it doesn't warrant coming out, because the boxes say it's got a bit of wear to it and there's no point. Now this game is a game when I had my Amiga 500 Plus, which I sold back in end of last summer. This is the game that I used to play the most on the Amiga, and when I actually sold it on, this was probably the one game that I actually thought I actually might miss playing it, and the music on it's fantastic. And when I realised that the game was on the SNES, I was like, I've got to get it straight away. And the game is Pimple Dreams, and it's basically exactly the same as the Amiga version. I can't see any difference from the level select of the different pinball machines, the music, and say to put it in and hear the music again was great. You didn't get the big introduction that you get on the Amiga version as it's loading, which was fantastic, by the way. But yeah, it is the same game. And if you like pinball games, I mean, I'm not a massive fan, but I really enjoyed the Amiga version of Pimple Dreams, and this is basically exactly the same game. So I'm really happy to have come across this and picked it up, and it is box complete. The box has a bit of wear to it. It's been sellotaped down on this end. I don't think you'll be able to see it through there, but it's been kind of like squashed down where it's been like taped over. Not too sure why someone would have done that. It originally came from a games exchange, pre-owned for $9.99. It was reduced from $16.99 to $9.99, and it's still got the sticker on the back. I'm not about taking it off, it would just rip the box, but I'm happy with it as it is. I think it's about tenner delivered. It weren't a lot at all, so I was happy with that because it's, you know, a nice game to play. So yeah, Pimple Dreams. Right, now we're going to start ramping up a little bit. So this game is a game I had in my original collection, and I think this one warrants coming out of the box protector because this one's in actually really nice shape. So I'll whop this one out to show you. So this might take a little bit of time, but trust me, with the games that are coming up, it's been worth the wait, trust me. So this is a game, it's not a fantastic game, but I love it. The music on it is fantastic. I think the soundtrack to this game is the best thing about it. It was a really overhyped fighting game, and it's the soundtrack for me that makes the game. Gameplay's a bit clunky, a bit sluggish, slow and boring, to be fair, compared to like Street Fighter and stuff that was out at the time. But I had this game, had it as a kid, had it in my original collection, so I had to get it back. And the game is Rise of the Robots. It's not terrible. I mean, I've played it and completed it through when I got it, but I prefer, just for the nostalgia really, I wanted it back again in a real nice condition. And as you can see, it is pucker. There's also a bit of sticker residue there, you can just see in the middle, but I haven't tried getting it off yet. A few people have mentioned in videos recently, I know James Monkey Spaz said about some ways of getting it off. but I'm yet to test it on a not so good box to try it before I try it on anything like this. So we've got, I'll show you the whole way round. There's a little tiny crease at the bottom just there. So I'm doing a P here and a J, because I've officially, as I said to him on the phone, I've officially joined the mint in box triangle that I'm now in with these two. So yeah, it's all in good shape. And oh, there you go, it was in good shape, so I dropped it. And there's the back. And the only damage on it, which I've actually used a Sharpie to repair, is just on that top edge. I think you'll be able to see it, the focus. There's a little wear mark on the top, which I've coloured with just a Sharpie on there. And no, by the way, I didn't damage it, I just dropped it, just thought I'd double check. But there you go. Luckily it was just a cheap game and not an expensive one that I dropped. So there we go, Rise of the Robots. And it's in real nice shape. And it's I'm not going to get it out of the box, but it's box complete. And it's in real nice shape, as you can see. And the manual and the cartridge are the same condition. So I'll put that back. Right, next game. The game is another game that I had back in the day. And I had this on cart only. And I sold the cartridge recently because I picked it up box complete now. And I'll get it out and show you. It's a fantastic game, this. If you haven't tried it or haven't played it, I really recommend you pick it up. Now the box is a bit more worn than the last one, but it's in very good strong shape. And that is Black Hawk PAL version. So we've got a bit of sticker residue left at the bottom, which again might come off if I try it out. This one on the end is fine, so it's in nice condition, but there is a little bit of wear to it. And on the back, there's like a label, hang tab remains there. But yeah, overall, I'm being quite harsh on it. It is in good shape, and then so the manual and the cartridge are also in fantastic shape as well. But yeah, Black Hawk, it's a fantastic game. Plays a bit like Flashback, but in my opinion, it's much better than Flashback. I much prefer this one. Black Hawk, fantastic game. If you haven't tried it, I really recommend you at least check out a video of it, gameplay. And if you like that kind of thing, it's well worth getting. It's a great game. So that's Black Hawk. Right, so I'll slide that back in there. Okay, next game is USA, and it's a game I've not had before, but it's a game I wanted to add to the collection because I have some on the PlayStation in the series. The box again has a bit of wear on it, but you know, I'm happy with it. It's hard to get this game in a real nice condition, to be totally fair, and I think I found it in the best condition I could at the time, and I'm happy with it. It's got everything, it's fully complete. And the game is Final Fantasy 3. So I'll just show you with the power of my light, the front of the box. See, the end has got a bit of crushing there, and you can just see where it's kind of like slightly rolled there, and that is because it's got everything in there. It's got the map, the manual, the poster, precautions leaflet. It's got the whole lot in there. And it actually makes the box kind of quite bulgy. That's just how it is because it's got everything in there. I'm not going to get it all out because it would take far too long. But it's Final Fantasy 3. Really happy to add this into my Super Nintendo collection. And I'm after Final Fantasy 2, which I will pick up eventually. But I was happy to pick this one up. I got a good deal on this one. And yeah, Final Fantasy 3. Really happy to add another Final Fantasy game into my collection. I've got Final Fantasy 1 on the NES and 2 as a reproduction cart on the NES as well. So Final Fantasy 3, happy to add this one in. So I say I will eventually pick up Final Fantasy 2, but I'm going to wait on that one because I haven't seen one in the condition I want just yet. So let's put that back in. Okay. Right, the next game. This game I had back when I started collecting again, back in 2005-2006, and I had it on PAL version, cart only, and it's quite a good little game. But I found this box complete on the American version for a really decent price. I can't remember what I paid or where I imported it from. It was in Europe though. Well, I didn't actually get it from the States. This was so I didn't have to pay any import tax or nothing on it. And it's in really nice condition. Apart from it's got like one crush mark where it's like almost it's got like a not like a sharp scratch down it. But I'll show you. I'll get it out of the box. It's quite a fun game actually. Okay, so the game is Beavis and Butthead. So I'll show you where this damage is. So the damage is right across there, and it's almost like it's it hasn't. It's like almost like a knife mark. I don't quite know how it's got there. It certainly wasn't me when I opened it up because it was laid flat. But yeah, there's a little bit of damage on that end there, which I'm happy with because the top of the box, as you can see, is absolutely fine. And then you've got a tiny little sticker, like a little tear just there. But I say I'm getting quite, anal about it really. I mean, for me, I'm happy with it. It's got to say a little bit of wear and tear. Back's in great condition, but it's a fun game. Music's really good as well. It's basically a side-scrolling action platformer. You go and killing things and throwing weapons and stuff. Quite a quirky little two-player game as well. You play like 2 players simultaneous. So you kind of like the old Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers days, where you have 2 people running on together, or Donkey Kong, whatever. So it's a bit like that. Nowhere near like that, but you play on the same screen at the same time. So yeah, Beavis and Butthead. Real happy to have this one box complete. Okay, so now we're really ramping up the ante now on games. Down to the final 3, and these are belters for condition and the titles that they are. Okay, so the next game is probably the biggest, or the most wanted. I really wanted this game, and I've wanted this game when I first started collecting, say back in 2005, 2006, 2007, but I never had it back then. I just couldn't justify getting it. I didn't want to import it. I'd never really imported much stuff before, so now I took a chance, picked it up and got it in the UK. I was happy to get it in the UK. It's in absolutely pristine condition, so I'll be really careful how I handle it not to drop this one. And the game is Super Mario RPG, and it is absolutely in beautiful condition. Really happy with it. So you can see there, it's in spanking condition. Just going to show you in the light. I know Pete, you love all this, and Jay. It's in really nice order. There's the back, and inside, I say, it's absolutely. I'm not going to get it out because I don't want to risk dropping anything. The cartridge hasn't got a mark on the label. The manual looks like it's never been opened. It's got a poster, precaution leaflet, everything in there. Really happy to have this game in my collection, and I put it on to try it out. Literally just try it out, and I was hooked on it for about an hour and a half. It's a really good game. Really enjoy it, and I really recommend picking it up. I mean, I'm not a massive RPG fan. I know I picked up Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and several other big RPG games because I want to get them, because I know everyone knows that they're fantastic games. So I want to add them into my collection, and I want to play them myself. But for someone that's kind of not too sure on the series, but is new to the series, if you're a fan of Mario games, this is definitely a way of getting into the RPG genre, because it's quite gentle on you, if you get what I mean, to start with. It's not really overly complicated. It kind of holds your hand at the start, kind of gets you into it. And once you kind of get into it, it lets you go, and it's a fantastic game, and it's really honestly worth every penny it demands. Fantastic. Honestly, I can't sing its praises enough. And if you can get this, if you can justify getting this in your collection, I really honestly would recommend it. Fantastic game. So that's Mario RPG Legend of 7 Stars. Okay, so my next one, before they all fall over because they're all stacked up on that box, I'll move them down there. Okay, now these two, slightly more common, but it's the condition. that's what makes them so special. Especially this next one I'm going to show you. I had the cartridge of this, and again I sold this recently, the cartridge. Burp a minute. Pardon me. So this is a game that again I wanted to replace from my original collection, but I wanted it in the best condition I could find it, and I've got it in absolutely mint condition, apart from a little tear on the back where a stick's been removed, but that's not going to bother me, you know, I'm not going to worry about that. But the rest of it, I mean, and when you see this game, you're going to know how hard it is to find this game in mint condition. I saw it, I had to jump on it, and the game is Super Mario World, the yellow boxed version, and as you can see, it's absolutely beautiful condition. So I'll show you in the end of the light here. Look at that, I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. I love the box, I love the artwork. This game is just the pinnacle Mario game in my opinion. It is just absolutely fantastic. And there is the only damage. This little tear there with a barcode has been stuck over with obviously the price, but that doesn't bother me. Really happy to have this in the collection. And the cartridge again hasn't got a mark on the label, it's in its bag. The manual's mint, everything's mint. I said I'm not going to get it all out in case I drop it all on camera and make a mess of a beautiful game and the beautiful condition it's in. Yeah, Mario World, absolutely belting game. You know that, you know, you've all played it. But to have it in the box that I had it in back in the day means so much to me. You know, I couldn't settle for the red box variation. I know it's the same game, but I really wanted it in this box. So this is all part of my quest this year and into the, so how long it would take me to get all my games back in the condition I had them, in the boxes and the variants that I had. So this is one, I'm very happy to knock this off the list, and that is Mario World yellow box version. Now down to the final game. Again, this is fantastic. I can't believe this, and this is the first time I've had this back in this condition since I had it originally back in the, what, 94, 5, 95 ish. I actually bought this off a school friend. He actually came around and sold me Aladdin and this game. Now I haven't had this in this condition since, and when this came I was so happy to actually get it. I just couldn't wait. And yeah, really happy with this, guys. And it's Super Metroid, the big box version. Absolutely over the moon to have this. Super Metroid, as you know, is an absolutely fantastic game, and I had this on loose cartridge, but to have it complete in box with the player's guide in fantastic condition is just so good. I'm really happy to have it. Again, I haven't had this version since I was a kid, and when I see it I thought I've got to have this with the book, you know, the variation or the American version. I didn't want it, I had to have the big box, which is what I had back in the day, and it weren't in as good condition as this. I mean, the one I had been a bit bashed around a little bit, but I'll show you the condition of this one. It has a little bit of wear, but in overall it is really nice. It's mainly the wear is like kind of on the corners and the edges, as you can see, and like the flaps to open it up. So just work my way around the box, do a little tour. I mean, I can't grumble. I mean, it's the best one I could find. And there's the back. So yeah, Super Metroid, big box version with player's guide. Absolutely over the moon with this. I'm looking to pick up some box protectors. I know Jay Cybersnake, thank you mate for sending me a link on eBay. There's a guy in America basically that does sell big box protectors for this and like Mario Paint, these kind of size games. They're the same size, and Earthbound if you're lucky enough to have a big box version of Earthbound. Yeah, so I'm going to import a couple of those to stick on this and my Mario Paint. I've already messaged the guy, so I'm going to get this one protected as well. really happy to have Super Metroid back in the collection, as I am with all my games, but this is the first time I've actually had this back since, say, 1994-95 when I first originally had it. So really happy to have this one. Then we'll have a little flick through the player's guide as well. I've only just literally got it Thursday, so a good flick through the book as well, and get back into playing this one. So I did start playing it, and then I stopped, because as you do, you get new games to come and you kind of put things on hold. At the minute, Earthbound on the SNES and Mario World on the SNES has been taking up the vast majority of my time. But yeah, this needs to get some serious attention. With that player's guide, it's going to encourage me even more to get into it. I think when you've got the games boxed like this, it really makes you appreciate them more as well. When you've got everything with them, and you can kind of go through the book or the manual, whatever, to help you out. So it just makes the whole experience a lot more enjoyable, especially when you had the game originally. It just makes that, you know, that little extra bit better to have it. So yeah, I'm waffling now, but yeah, Super Metroid, big box version, real happy with that. So that is it, guys. That is my Super Nintendo pickups. I know it's been quite a long one, but I'm sure you'd appreciate it's been worth it. I've really enjoyed collecting for the SNES and the NES. And that is the last of my SNES stuff that I've actually picked up and I'm actually waiting for. So I've kind of waited until I've got everything. And I say I've been buying this stuff since Christmas. I've been keeping it up. We're now like in the middle of February. So it's been a while to accumulate all that and get it all together to do a video. And I'm going to be pleased to be able to now put it from behind me to up on the shelf with the rest of my Super Nintendo collection. And I say, I have said before, I'm going to do an overall SNES collection video. I will do that, but I've got a few other plans I want to do with the Super Nintendo collection first, which will become clear later on. I want to get back all the games I had first boxed up, and I'm going to do like a little story about it, but I'll explain more near the time. So for now, guys, that has been my Super Nintendo collection pickups. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall catch you again very soon for an NES, and I've got a Game Boy one as well, so I'll see what I'll fancy doing first. But yeah, take it easy, guys, and I shall catch you soon. Cheers.